Hi, I just wanted to let you know how my hearing aids are doing. Kind of time to do a follow-up.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple.
Live free.
You're going to notice that I'm sounding a little funny. I'm just having kind of a day where I'm a little, I don't know, more hoarse or something. But I've had to kind of decide that I need to do whatever I can to be back on the channel and as much back into life as I can kind of manage. So I'm trying. Anyway, I needed to give you guys a little bit of a follow-up with this whole amazing situation that I have with the hearing aids. I have to really realize all the things that are kind of a real blessing in my life, even though I've been kind of struggling with not feeling well. The hearing aids are really helping me hear things that I haven't heard in ages. And even with everything else going on, I just went in to get a tooth cleaning yesterday, and I have just exceptionally healthy teeth. So I just have been blessed with really strong teeth. And I floss. That's a very good idea. Anyway, so I have had several adjustments now to the level of the sound. I'm working my way up, so I'm hearing more and more details all the time. And you have to give your brain a chance to adjust so they don't crank you right up to that level, from the very beginning. I was going to do a little short about the first time I really heard the crickets. I wasn't feeling very good right at that time. But I did have a day where I was, it takes a lot for me to hear that exact frequency. And so what I did is I had a recording of being outside, and that always picks things up even more than normal. And then I put my hearing aid on the outside setting and cranked it up a little. And I know it seems like a lot of foldy-roll, but it really was cool to me to actually clearly hear the crickets and the sound of all the insects and all that stuff. I just haven't heard that in a long time, so it was actually really cool.
So what is that outside setting you were talking about?
Yeah, he's been able to get me set up on the phone so that I can, I've got a setting here on my phone, and I can hit a button, and it goes ba-deep, and then it's a restaurant setting where it blocks out extraneous sound some, but then I can hear people that are close by me better. And that also is a good setting I've discovered for the little bit of time that I feel like I've been up to being able to be in church. And then there is my...
Well, I've heard other people make comments about one of our previous videos about they have hearing aids and they can't stand to wear them into restaurants or into public places because it makes everything so overwhelmingly loud.
Yes.
So how is that working for you with that restaurant setting?
Well,
public meeting setting.
Yeah, it's a setting for being around a lot of people and ruckus going on. Hearing loss isn't just a matter of not everything being too quiet and you need to make everything louder. It's so much more complex than that. And so I love the fact that this can be tweaked so that I can hear what I need to hear, but it helps kind of block out other stuff from being exaggerated. It keeps other things from being too loud. And I find on the restaurant setting that it really does help, or in church, because I don't suddenly have just the sounds around, like at the restaurant, phone ringing somewhere or something like that, or just a lot of conversation and bumping and everything going on. If that's
dishes clattering.
If all of that is louder so that I can hear conversation better, it becomes kind of overwhelming. Although, your body will adjust quite a bit, your brain will, but on this setting is specifically made so that I can focus on what I really need to, and the other isn't exaggerated. It doesn't dull everything else, it just keeps from exaggerating it. And then the outdoor setting, I have to laugh at myself. I was hitting the buttons as I was describing them, and it makes it really...
Did you change it?
Yeah, I changed it. when I put it on the outside setting, and then he spoke, and I almost jumped out of my hide. Because the outside setting is for when you can be somewhere and you want to hear the fine sounds, the birds and insects and just wonderful stuff, cows mooing, somewhere and all this stuff. But it is not set up to be able to be like in a conversation right then, or lots of loud sounds. And so when he spoke, it didn't hurt or anything. It just startled me because all of a sudden he was so much louder. But I love the outside setting for when I feel like I can maybe get out for a little while and just kind of rest in the fresh air. But if it's just kind of quiet, I can really hear like the rustling in the trees, and I don't know, I can hear the fine bird sounds. And
when was the last time you heard all that?
You know what? That's really sad is that at this point, I'm not sure I even remember anymore. It creeps up on you so slowly, and you just don't realize it's gone. I didn't realize how much I was losing hearing until I was with a bunch of my friends from our church where we used to live, and we went to a ladies' get-together, and I realized that unless I was looking right at somebody, because I really didn't realize how much I learned to read lips, unless I was really looking right at somebody, I could hear noise all around, but I could not pick up any conversation. And it made me realize, whoa, that's not right, And then Bill would notice. Another thing about that setting is I can hear quiet rain. But Bill would notice that I wasn't hearing rain or
rain on the roof when we're inside, and it's obviously raining, and she can't hear it.
Yeah. He always does. Oh, honey, it's so sweet. But it has been amazing having a situation where I have ongoing interaction with the audiologist, Corey. He's really great. He keeps tweaking things for me. And if I find that I'd like something to be a little bit different, I just have to let him know. And remotely, he can work it out for me and reset it. So we constantly are tweaking things so that I have what I need in whatever setting that I'm in. The technology is mind-blowing. And this little thing just sitting on top of my ear, and it's so unobtrusive. But the technology of what it can do amazes me nowadays.
Yeah. He's sitting somewhere in his office out west, a couple thousand miles from here, and he does a video conference with Elizabeth.
Really easy.
He takes over her. It's like Twilight Zone. He takes over her ears, her hearing aids,
right.
And they're talking on the video conference, and he makes adjustments to her hearing aids while he's there and she's here. And every couple of weeks they have another session where he makes some more adjustments, because we've actually got several other videos about this, and you can see the video about...
It's okay. I'm not trying to flinch away from you. I just had a new setting, so it's okay.
You can see the video about the initial fitting that she had with Corey on the video conference. But in that video, he explained, if this is where your hearing should be and it's all the way down here, hearing aids used to bring you, you put them in and they bring you right up to here, and it's absolutely overwhelming, and people would rip them out. He says, so now the first fitting, they only bring you up to here, and every couple of weeks they bring you up a little further and a little further like that until you're up to where you should be, because it takes a while for your brain to adjust.
Yeah.
And so she's been having these fittings sessions every 2 or 3 weeks now. And he has how's it going, and evaluates what she's hearing, and then he makes these adjustments. And the interaction with him online is absolutely amazing. It's just like you're sitting right there at a local clinic, but he's doing it from out west.
He'll say, well, let me try this, and then as soon as he adjusts something, then I just get on my phone and I hit the button, and it like uploads it. In other words, he's not like doing stuff right then that all of a sudden I've got to deal with something different or whatever. He can do a little bit of things like that, but he'll do the adjustment I need, and then I upload it, and then he says, how's that? And we can tweak. We can just keep working with it. And actually, especially with the way I've been feeling, I'll be real honest, I'm kind of grateful that I've been able to do this at home and not have to go somewhere for making sure everything's adjusted properly. It's been a lot easier for me. And he said he's just available forever. I mean, there's never been any extra cost or anything. He just wants to be available. He really is excited that I can get to the level that I really need to be, and so he's very devoted to trying to help me get there. And he's also was really understanding when for just a little while there I was not necessarily getting together with him. I just wasn't up to it. But as soon as I was again, at all, he's been really wanting to help, and so
the all of the additional fittings and ongoing support is all included in the initial price of the hearing aids.
Yeah. It's just such a different world nowadays than my my grandparents and my uncles and all that stuff. I don't have to worry about batteries. I know my stepfather used to always have trouble keeping track of his batteries, and
there's this great big battery pack hanging off their ear and all this. They're very small.
Yeah, they're
and
tiny.
She's got just enough hair there that I can't ever even tell whether she's wearing them or not. I always have to say, "Do you have your ears on?"
Right. And then there's that neat little case. Every night I just pop them in there, and they blink at me, and I close it, and they're charged. And it's just so convenient and easy. So it's quite a world nowadays with all this.
So what about watching TV?
Oh, yeah, I'm much better.
We've always had to put the words on for many years now.
For many years now. Yeah, and no, in fact, I'll make it too quiet for Bill. Not that he's had hearing issues, because he doesn't, but I mean, he'll be surprised at how quiet I have it. But no, I'm following things so much better than I used to, and hearing just subtle little things. It's so funny how life is full of little tiny squeaks and pops and bumps, and that I just haven't heard in so long. And right now, as I get the adjustments made, I'm really noticing them. But Corey has said, that audiologist has said that, your brain will just eventually adjust, and it won't seem different to me at all, anymore. But
so overall, are you glad we did this?
Well, I tell you, I'm grateful. I mean, I really am. I didn't realize how much I was kind of feeling. I was getting to the point where I was stopping kind of asking people to repeat, because I got so tired of it. And I didn't want to get to the point where I found myself just kind of nicely smiling at people and backing down, because I couldn't really keep up with what was going on. So yeah, I want to try to get my hearing as good as possible here, so that I can stay really involved in conversations and in what's happening, and hear wonderful things like rain. And I in the rain, I went out it was a warmer day, because I'm being pretty careful right now, but it was a warmer day, and just sitting out there where it's covered over, and just hearing the rain was it's so peaceful. It was beautiful. So yeah, I got to be real honest. I've been really impressed with how Corey's been taking care of me, and I have appreciated that even though I'm not seeing somebody right in a building, it has been very personal, and I don't even have to leave home. And he also can adjust things for my own environment, and that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so he can put and create as many different settings or
right,
profiles, or whatever you want to call them, as she needs, and he can tweak each one first. But I mean, she plays piano in church. She hasn't been recently, but she usually does, and so he can tweak a setting just for that.
Yes, a music setting,
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to once I can kind of get back to that more. But even just being able to have the adjustments done when I'm in my own environment, or I can go somewhere where I'm like, okay, this is what I need here, then he can do it, and then I can check it in that environment. I could do it outside, or I could do it somewhere else. He could even do an adjustment if I was sitting in a restaurant, because it's the setting that I am in that he can adjust to.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
So we actually, if you'd like to find out a little bit more about about Elizabeth's experience with Earlux hearing aids, we have a playlist about with the previous videos, especially the one about the initial fitting. You might find that very interesting. So there's a link in the description below to that playlist, so you can see our other videos, and also I'll put one on the end screen. A lot of people are curious, of course, about the cost, and so I will tell you that they have, I think, at least 3 different models, maybe 4, I'm not sure, and when they do the initial screening, they will determine, which model is best for you. And the price ranges anywhere from $2,500 up to $5,500, depending on which model you get. Now that is generally about 25% less than if you would go down to a local hearing clinic and buy them there. That's because they don't have all the expense of the bricks and mortar store and all those kinds of things.
All the overhead of that.
Now you can, if you follow our link below to Earlux, then you can get a free hearing test right online, and then sign up for a free consultation, and it'll be a video consultation where you can consult with one of their audiologists, and that doesn't cost you anything, and they will evaluate whether they think they can help you or not. And they're not high pressure salesmen trying to sell it. They're just going to evaluate, can we help you or not? And they'll let you know then which model is best for you. Also, if you follow our link to that, you do make a purchase, then you can get either $200 off or 0% interest financing, and they have very low monthly payments available for that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, the technology is just expensive. They're not nobody at a bricks and mortar store or even there at Earlux, they're not jacking up the price on things all that much because the technology is just expensive.
Yeah.
But they are trying to make it available to people in a way that may make it possible if it's hard to come up with the money up front. But to be able to have like free payment, in other words, free payments, yeah. In other words, to not have interest. Yeah, no interest payments, so that you can space out and be able to pay it off that way.
Now, and let me just say too that it is definitely possible to find cheaper hearing aids, but if you do that, you're buying cheaper hearing aids.
Well,
in other words, they don't have the ability to make all of these fine adjustments, and those are the kind of hearing aids that when you get into a restaurant, you tear them out because it doesn't have a restaurant setting and it's too loud for you. So.
Well, we don't honestly know. Somebody may be able to find something that'll work wonderfully for them. I don't know. I don't know enough about them. I do know that I'm grateful I don't have to deal with batteries. And I do that I'm grateful to be able to get this constant adjustment and kind of get me to where I really need to be. But I'm not saying you can't find what you need somewhere. I'm just sharing my own experiences.
Right. So we are affiliates with them now. So if you go through our link, you can get this discount, and we will earn a little bit of money from that, just to be right completely upfront.
Right. It doesn't make it cost more at all. It doesn't change the cost.
But, and in the last video, a lot of people said, oh, well, it was easy for you guys. You got those for free because you're promoting them. We did not get them for free. No. We had to pay for them as well, and I'm very glad that we did.
Yeah, even if I wasn't, trying to even if I wasn't like sharing with you guys about my own experience with it, and decided to kind of work with them in an affiliate way, I'm even without that, I would be very, very glad that I went ahead and did this. It was time.
Yeah.
It was time.
So, I didn't look on the calendar before we sat down, but how long has it been now? Has it been 3 months or 2 months? I think it's more like 3 months that you've had these.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he continues to do, adjustments for her every few weeks.
Yeah. No, he's been available. And he's just comfortable, and I appreciate that. Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, I told you that I was going to try to kind of keep you up a little bit on what's happening with the hearing aids, and like I said, in the middle of just not feeling good for quite a while now, I really appreciate being able to hear better, just like I appreciate knowing that my teeth are good. So, you gotta appreciate the good things in life. So, alrighty.
Well, I hope you find that interesting. I hope you find that helpful.
Helpful, yeah.
So.
Don't, whatever somebody would decide to do, don't let yourself be shut out of life because you just can't participate in it anymore. I so understand how hard it is. And there's got to be some way that you can work it out to be able to get some decent help with your hearing. Yeah. And I've been really grateful for it. So, alrighty.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Yeah, we love you guys, and we'll be seeing you soon. I'm going to try to poke my nose in these videos a little more often nowadays. Bye.
Bye-bye. So you have just finished your first fitting with your ears, your new ears.
Hearing my new ears, yeah.
So what do you hear?
Let me see. There's a bird over there.
A cricket? Oh, the bird is doing that, yeah. When was the last time you heard birds like that?
Oh, usually the only time that I hear birds are the crows, or if it's cardinals are really being loud. It's a calf. It's a cat.
No, those are kids yelling at each other.
They're kids.
But they're like all the way over on the other side of the valley. Normally you wouldn't even have heard them.
I wouldn't have heard the kids at all. Something barked way over there.
Yep. It's a dog like 3 yards away.